Hey, thanks for listening to my fifth Ramble video for my UIM Level 3 Skill Pure Ramble series. And this is the corresponding series with my UM Level 3 Skill Pure series progress videos, which I just dropped about a week ago, progress video number 6. And so it's about time to catch up on the Ramble series. I also get comments from folks saying, hey, I really enjoy the Ramble series. You're easy to listen to. They'll just say, when's the next one coming out? And I've definitely been slacking on the Rambo videos, though I do enjoy it because it is the format for me to be able to talk about things going on. And yeah, I haven't been doing them as effectively in between my progress videos, so I need to catch up before I definitely release progress video number 7 eventually. And it's near the end of the year, so I figure it's a good time to talk about the entire year's worth of progress, what my plans are for next year, and just what occurred this year, and also talk about what's coming and what I'm going to be working on, and just I guess just a recap. So it'll be good. It might be a long ramble video. You might also hear a lawnmower in the background. Hopefully it's not too bad, but the guys are mowing my large front lawn. It is huge, and I'm tired of mowing it, so I got some guys to mow it consistently now for me. Um, but yeah, they're doing it, and today is the day for it. So I probably could have picked a better time, but with kids, even though I have an office and my wife usually always needing something, I am the man after all. So yeah, it's just hard to find a good time, and I don't really want to do it late at night because I am too tired at that point. So my voice sounds even more tired, and I usually just want to go to bed. Not to mention, I had a 3-hour final exam last night, and I've got a bunch of stuff to prepare tonight for a presentation for a 2-year internship that I'm finishing on top of my full time and part time gigs. So I'm excited to finish it, but I'm also weary and ready to be done and enjoy rest this season. But yeah, let's talk about the progress. So I released video number 6. I got 99 Hunter, and it just kind of brings up a strange thing, which is I definitely have done more this year than I had planned, and also my plans, they haven't quite stuck. And so it's kind of funny just to think about what my goals were in the beginning of the year and honestly where my account was. So in the beginning of this year, about 1 year ago, I think it's actually even precisely 1 year ago, I released the UIM level 3 skill pure video number 1. So it's basically been a year since I started making the videos for this account, and that was 99 rune crafting. And I had not been super invested in the account in 2022. It was kind of like here and there, and then at the end of the year, I just was like, I'm gonna do 99 rune crafting untrimmed, and I went for it, right? And so the goals for this year, for 2023, were rather straightforward. It was, I'm going to go for thieving because that's very effective and helpful for farm runs and GP, starting cash outside of the rune crafting. I just wanted to get more coins saved up. I wanted to have something I knew I'd use for farm runs later. And then I was going to go for fishing and farming, right? Those three are very useful, and they're helpful for farm runs and getting Herblore up until you get Concape, and then you kind of have a perfect meta there, especially when you have the Stample and your POH, etc. So that was the goal, and I really didn't think I would get more than thieving, fishing, and farm, and that was kind of what I was planning. I wasn't planning on getting a bunch of my other skills up. I wasn't planning on doing a lot of what I ended up doing in progress video number 3. And so for some of you who play a lot, that is barely anything, right? Getting 99 thieving, farming, and fishing, like that's relatively easy to do if you play a lot. I am very busy. I'm married. I've got 3 kids. We had our third this year. So that was also a wrench in the plans. He was actually unexpected, but man, he's the best. I love my third kid, my boy. I've got 2 boys and my oldest is a girl. So she's 10, and it's been such a sweet season of our 3 kids. Exhausted for sure with a newborn. He's not new anymore. He's 6 months old now, but yeah, man, it's been kind of a wild year to think about how much has been done. So I did 99 thieving. That made sense. I was having a lot of fun doing that. And then, we launched Transcend, and where our 10 HP iron skilling PVM clan. It also welcomes other irons if they want to be there. But yeah, it's been pretty cool, and I just didn't anticipate what was going to come next. And so I have to give a huge shout out to Sun Hurts Me. it was wild. I got poison dynamite because I wanted to get a looting bag. Is basically what I wanted, and that required 750 total. So I had to do some base fishing and cooking. I had to do some base stats essentially. Woodcutting and firemaking. I figured I might as well get ready for Wintertod and have that there. I'm not an OSAT after all, so fortunately I can train more than one skill at a time. And that's the way I like it, but I still like to make progress of getting a 99, right? So I think that UIM, though there's a phase where you definitely are getting a lot of things done at once to be effective and efficient, and it's also fun. Let's just be honest, though slightly challenging if it's your first time. That's something that getting to a certain point, you end up just really needing to work on 99s. Like if you want to be effective and get towards max, you have to do 99s, and it makes more sense to just do almost 199 at a time. So UIM kind of presses that in mid to end game. You can do things that will get you multiple 99s, like 200 mil fire making, but I'm also a collection log person. Like I do want to collect things along the way. So, for example, 200 mil fire making, that's not going to get me everything from mahogany homes, right? That's not going to get me everything from forestry for the wood cutting. As some would say, well, it's better to be higher level to go for that. I just like to collect things on the way to 99, and then whatever I don't get by 99, I tend to just accept I'll come back to. But man, sun hurts me. I think I was trying to kill Slagalith, and I was doing some combat. I had figured out the basics of poison dynamite, not like the diagonals or anything like that. And poison dynamite was relatively new this year, and so it was just a perfect opportunity to actually go for combat. The reason I made this account was I was tired of making UIM skill pures and doing the combat, and then the meta's changing. And then with this, it was like, oh, now I can actually do the zero combat XP, and no UIM level 3 has really completed it at the moment in terms of doing it without, recoils, pre-release, sketchy stuff that even I had done a long time ago. Not on this account, of course, but before they removed the ability to get recoils through Chambers of Xerix and stuff like that. So a lot of good things happened for the UIM level 3 and Iron level 3 community in terms of game updates to make things fair play. And I took advantage of that. I was ready there. I never really made my level 3 UIM for like content. I did it because this is the mode in the game mode that I want to play till like always whenever I'm playing. So I think that differentiates me. Like I'm not just making YouTube content to get subscribers or views or anything like that. It's just more of it's kind of a nice add-on if you will. Like I don't really care about my metrics. I'm an underground content maker, and I don't make like a lot of videos every week. I'm not trying to fluff things out. I'm not trying to expand things to just I don't know. You know what I mean? Like there's people who this is their dream. They want to be a YouTuber, and it's not mine. So I just wanted to archive everything because I'm kind of an archiver, and I like to collect memories and things that I have and have them to be able to go back to in even 5 minutes to kind of encapsulate and feel the things that I did throughout that and also have motivation going forward. So it was cool to start that this year. I didn't really know in the beginning with RC, a lot of it was screenshots. I wasn't really like, I'm going to make videos. I just wanted to enjoy the account. And I intentionally avoided doing combat in the beginning because I just was tired of the metas changing so frequently. Well, I met Sun doing Slagalith, and man, oh man, I can't emphasize how much I missed that season already. That was kind of just a crazy season. It was 7 months ago that I released the firemaking video, and that one, for example, is 4 times almost every other progress video. So the amount of content that is in that video, I mean, Sun and I started just theory crafting. He has a Giga Chad Mega Brain, and I was like his guinea pig for his science experiments. And honestly, dude, it was so much fun. Like, I wish I could go back and appreciate it a little bit more because we were going through everything. I remember when we figured out that we could use Poison Dynamite via diagonal while killing the zombie in Draenor Sewer for the Lumbridge Easy Diary. And like there was just so much stuff that we were doing using blocking. Like certain metas hadn't been determined yet. So much was discovered. It was a lot of discovery and a lot of fun, and in Discord and other people in Transcend being there too, like really active. I mean, I'm hoping that it'll be like that this next year again. Maybe not necessarily the same thing, but there's certain seasons where it's harder just to be in voice all the time. I've been really busy, so I only get to pop into voice here and there, and I'm looking forward to kind of getting done with some stuff this year so I can jump in more frequently. But yeah, that was just an incredible season, and a lot of other people getting their stuff done too, and combat stuff done. And by the time I was done with all quests and all maxed out basically, I had a really decent base level of all my stats, and I also ended up having 90 firemaking, so it just made sense to just go for the 99 and get it done. I'm not a big fan of firemaking via Wintertod. I definitely didn't want to do 200 mil. It's not like I couldn't. I know I could, but I just don't feel like doing the same thing for a long time that I don't want to do. You know what I mean? And I'm more motivated by getting collection logs, etc. And I knew I probably wasn't going to see the Dragon Axe or the Phoenix Pet, so why not go do some other stuff? I figure I can always go around and do it. And technically, if you're talking about super efficient, it's actually better to go do 200 mil firemaking after you have 99 fletching, woodcut, and con, so you can maximize your XP rates post XP. So nowadays, I think there's enough there. I don't know about fletching, but there definitely is for woodcutting with forestry and with con with mahogany homes to kind of, I guess, alleviate the need to go for 200 mil firemaking, though you get a lot of good rewards and stuff like that. But if you're level 3, in a UIM, the rewards aren't, so crazy that you have to go for solos all the way or anything like that. So I enjoyed getting that one done, but that was an unexpected turn, and it felt so good to release that video, though I knew a lot of people wouldn't watch the full 20 minutes because their attention span, thanks to TikTok. But I did feel really good just archiving all of that and getting it out, and I personally really enjoyed putting that video out and felt very accomplished. With that, I had a lot of base stats, and so I knew I wanted to get back on track. I was very off track, and I thought, man, I completely ruined my year goals, but I jumped into fishing, and I enjoyed aerial. I thought, okay, I got to get some hunter. I need to get more recoil, so I was kind of doing some stuff, and what you notice in my videos is even though each thumbnail has a 99 on it, I do a lot of other skills while I'm getting that 99. Like I'm not sitting there just doing one skill. And I think that would kind of honestly make for a little bit more boring content. Some of my future videos might actually be very boring and fast because I'm leveling a bunch of other things at once. It might be actually quicker as I get further along my account for each video to just get the 99. But yeah, that's something that I think has been pretty interesting, because I've been additionally going for collecting all skilling outfits, trying to collect, get collection logs complete. And aerial was perfect for that because I did that early for early fishing levels to get into Temperos. I did that for early hunter levels to get magpies for ring of recoils. I'd already had a base of doing some aerial stuff, and so I just went back, farmed that out for a while until I had high enough hunter level to actually need to go get some fishing. And how crazy it was for me that I went and did some fly fishing at the farming guild, which was really chill, and ended up getting, I did a little bit of 3-tick and some AFKing and getting the heron pet. And that was just, that was kind of crazy because as I was doing aerial, I was so focused on getting the golden tench and that RNG that I did not anticipate like a pet. I never actually even liked the heron pet, to be fair, until I had it. And I think that that's how some pets are. I don't really feel like doing that right now, but I think that that's how some pets are. And it really grew on me. And then I kind of had a reason once I finished aerial to go for Temperos, right? And I didn't really like Temperos, and the XP rate felt very slow, and it wasn't AFK because of the stupid waves, and I just wasn't a fan of certain parts of it. But once I knew I needed to get not only the stuff for upgrading my angler set, because I wanted the spirit angler or whatever, but also I wanted to get the blue formation for my heron. I liked having unique forms of the pets. For example, if I could, I'd have, an Abyssal Leech version of the Abyssal Protector, if that was possible. But I do have the Greatest Guardian form for my Rift Guardian. And I like having unique forms. If I have a Rocky eventually, it'll probably be the Red Panda, for example, right? I just like having the forms that aren't like super unique or anything. They come with it, but it's kind of nice to have. Like, I really want the Fox pet right now. But yeah, getting the beaver is kind of crazy. So I don't like that aspect, right? I don't like the aspect of just RNG being forever there and somebody who's barely been doing it can get it and somebody's been doing it for over almost 50 or over 50 mil. Shout out to Relent. I know he's been farming the beaver IRL and in game, and he hasn't gotten it in game yet, poor guy. But it makes me want it, but it also makes me not hopeful that I'm ever going to get it. And I do have the fox whistle. So it's like, I'm not a big fan of that. And then it's just so weird that the developers are so inconsistent. For example, with the transmog for the Rift Guardian, it's 3,000 abyssal pearls. But then you can't consume it in the Rift Guardian so that you never have to worry about having to refarm that orb again, which is just dumb, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's like a quality of life problem. But then when it comes to the beaver pet, you can't just get the fox whistle and the golden egg by farming a bunch of bark from doing the events consistently and doing it via a work based approach for the transmog. It's like, nope, you got to do RNG. But yet when you use it, it does consume in the pet. So it's like, I wish that it would just have it be, if the pets are RNG, then any kind of transmog skin or anything like that would be work based. You can hit that goal and achieve it. And then when you use it on the pet, it consumes it permanently so that you never lose your progress. Like, I don't understand what is so complicated about that. And honestly, as a senior software engineer, sometimes that's what usually will bother me about the game, is just like brain dead decisions that I feel are so undervalued because of content that has to be pushed and launched and their sprint cycle. And they're always just so frantic to get something out to the community. And I kind of miss the old J mods that they definitely saw the players and wanted to make the quality of their gameplay enjoyable, and they would take really long seasons to just focus on all of that stuff. I know that they listen to the community more than most games, and their content that they put out is pretty darn good. Especially on the PVM front, they've been pushing very hard this year. They did get leagues out. There's a lot of work that they do, so I understand as a software engineer how much that burdens you and how much is moving and all of that. But I just think that it would be nice if they would slow down for once, and it not just be because it's the holiday season, and slow down and just improve things like that. For example, Modelena was totally fine with the idea of having the orb be reobtainable via the collection log slot. Like, you could have a simple code logic that checks it and then you get the orb, so then you never have to worry about it, or just make it like, update the code to make it like everywhere else. But that's dev time, right? And she's on sailing now, or they move from one project that they release like forestry to the next, unless the entire community really yells about it. And with Guardians of the Rift, they did, but they didn't yell about that, which is so dumb. So they updated a bunch of stuff with Guardians of the Rift that was good updates, like the pouches, like all of that, but they didn't update the one major, like 3,000 pearl item you buy. It's just so strange to me. So that's a little bit of a rant. I digress, but I do love the J mods, and I have nothing negative against them, but that is something that tends to drive me a little bit crazy. My son was knocking on my door. But yeah, so it's just kind of, I don't like being harsh on people because I know that this is their jobs, and people hold them to like some unrealistic standards. As in tech, it's like there's always bugs and there's always problems and things like that. So I think that the J mods do need people that are on their team, but I do wish that they would hear to some of the, listen a little bit better to some of the quality of life things. And if anything has been evident of that, it's been the forestry updates. How long does it take to add an Arctic pine to an area? Like, it's a model. Like, they can drag and drop that thing and put it in Relica. It's the most minor patch update. It's kind of like, for example, adding the recoils to the magpies. It took 4 years. Ash was like, yeah, that sounds good, to a tweet 5 years ago. But it took until this year because it was so bad in the backlog. And that's the problem, is they don't handle their backlog. And when they do handle their backlog, it's very small and it takes a lot of years. And I just think that it would serve them well and the community well if they would just handle their backlog for once. We have a lot of good content. I know that they need to do some hype things, but hopefully with even just this leagues, they'll do leagues more regularly, like once a year, and they can just kind of refarm some of the stuff. I don't know how good they are at building reusable tools so that they can reuse not have to like rebuild everything from scratch every time. That's a big thing in software engineering. Like the better you build reusable tools, the better it is for you to develop and build other things in the future. So, anyways, I did fishing. I couldn't believe that I got Tiny Tempor by the end, so I had both fishing pets, which by vid 4 to have all quest combat, diaries, everything done, have all of the rune crafting pets and greenlogged Guardians of Rift, and have all the fishing pets and almost be greenlogged on Tiny or not Temporos, just needing the Dragon Harpoon by 99 fish. I was just very happy and satisfied, especially because this cape has been enjoyable for farm runs. It's not as drastic, I think, as the farm cape or the con cape, but it is a huge improvement because I do not like running all the way up there. Now that I have a stamina pool in my POH, it helps a little bit because the Ring of Elements gets me there, and I don't need the con cape to get to POH to get my energy up, so I can kind of do that as a part of my farm run strategically, which eventually, when I do get like all three, or I should say once I have fishing and farming, I may do like a mid-game farm run guide, and then when I get con, I'll do like an end-game farm run guide, because I have glory and all that, so like it'll be nice once I have the con cape. It'll be kind of the perfect situation, and that's kind of what I was aiming for this year, was to just get towards that. I didn't really think I'd be able to get cooking done, but surprisingly, mess hall's miserable, right? I'm not a big fan of mess hall. I figured out a way to do it. I put a guide out for it, but doing one-tick Karambwans was exhausting, but the XP rates were so much higher than fishing. My brain was just overloading, and I ended up just pushing myself and finishing that, spending some GP that I shouldn't have, because it would have been my feathers for not fletching right now, but I just wanted to get cooking done, and I wanted to do the fun method and learn it, and that's really the 200 mil cooking meta too for my build. So not to mention it was fun to do something unique and have an alt help with that for lighting the fires and figuring out the world hops and stuff like that. So shout out to Rezis for sending me the videos on how to do that, because I've known him forever, but he's always a homie. What's crazy is I just got so many stats, and then you would have thought, or I would have thought, I would have stuck back to my plan after fishing Cook, because Cook was kind of a hopeful one, but I knew I wanted to get to farm, that I would have finished farm by now. And I would be done with farm right now if I wanted to do Tithe. There was the updates to Tithe that were coming, and I just was waiting for that. I thought maybe the herb box would be good, so I put Tithe off a bit. Too much, I would say, to finish it this year. But I also didn't lose progress, right? So sometimes I think when you set a goal, it's okay to go off the path and do something different, as long as you're still making progress, because it's all got to get done either way, right? And I'm trying to be more strategic about what I do, because I think it helps in terms of, like, why would I level Slayer if a new Slayer meta comes out? And we did see that finally come to fruition this year, right? So I think even something like that, it's like, okay, I can get to it eventually, and maybe the game will change and something better will be there. Sometimes you lose efficiency because they update things and then you don't have it, like doing 99 woodcutting before forestry, and now you have to go back and do all the collection log. Well, yeah, you kind of lost out on some efficiency on the way to 99. So, post XP is always good and usually fun. I'm actually more motivated typically by post XP than I am even by levels, at least until the 90s. But yeah, I haven't had it, I haven't had that on my mind because I'm not really focusing on 200 mils. And I'd really like to just get max and then from there be able to do what I want, or do post XP in a skill when I'm close to max or something that would counteract with getting to max, because Herblore would be last. So anyways, that was pretty crazy, because when I went from Cook, I just didn't want to do farm. Like, I also panic bought and spent 45 mil on, 1.5 million mithril arrow tips. And the reason I panic bought was because there was a method to sell by that was released by, well, it wasn't released, it was just shown in Rendy's videos. And usually when Rendy, reveals something that benefits irons by any stretch, and it's not like you don't spend all the GP on the iron from the store, it's just helps you buy it quickly by having an alt that doesn't have any limitations. Well, I definitely thought, man, maybe Jagex will patch this store. And so I wanted to put off Fletching for sure and Hunter for a while. Like, I wanted to go for farm and then maybe go for con, right? Well, I thought that was going to get patched. Now it didn't, which is great, and it's been months, but yeah, that ended up that ended up being how I spent a majority of my cash stack that should have been reserved for con, and instead went to Fletch. Now, I knew that getting Fletch would be kind of annoying, but I didn't really know what it would feel like making all the shafts and then having to make the headless before you actually get the good Fletching XP. And that it's not like darts, right? So you can't just like spam click them, which they aren't willing to change, but I think it's just dumb. At least for the headless, I think you should be able to spam click, and then the headless into arrows, you should. It's fine, whatever. But yeah, they refuse. I don't know. That's another quality thing. It's like, well, then play the game and have to do it, and you'll change your mind. But if you don't play the game, you're like, oh, we'll just buy darts from GE. It's like, that's not the game. Like, that's not how everybody plays the game that you've established. So it's just quality of life things like that are just dumb. And I think with Trailblazer, or like the recent leagues, you even see this. For example, the Fireship relic was fantastic. Like the ability to just buy unlimited feathers. Well, yeah, it makes sense that it was like, you would never have that in the real game where there's no GP. But if I had the GP, I do not understand why I couldn't just do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, why do I have to buy, feather packs and then open them all up and then log out and log into another world? And then it's like the bots are going to go on that and do that anyways, right? So why do I as the player have to suffer because of some imposed restriction that they're worried about bots when I have the coin to pay? So I don't know. There's certain things like that. Like, you should just be able to buy X amount of feathers and it just take it, from your coin, your inventory, if you have the GP or not. I don't think that it's everything, like Mithril Blade Bodies. Like there's a lot of things that surely, like, I see why they might not want to, but I think that they could definitely do it with some of the lower stock items in the game. And it would just be enjoyable like it was or has been in leagues. So I'm hoping that some of the things they learn in leagues will ultimately lead them to improving the regular game. Not the XP rates and things like that, but just some of the overall positive things from testing out unique things in leagues. I don't think that they'll ever really one-to-one because then that would diminish leagues, but I do think that there's some things that I'm hoping they learn from this, though maybe I'm too hopeful or optimistic or high on copium. Well, from there, I ended up just doing woodcutting because I ended up getting fletching, and I ended up securing all of the arrow tip. Well, I made 550k mithril arrows, right? And that got me pretty high. And then I still have 949k mithril arrow tips, but I ended up also, while doing woodcutting and doing forestry, to get 949k arrow shafts. So all I need right now is basically 1,000,000 feathers, which I don't know what the price on it is. It can't be too bad, but oops, I don't want to mess up my cycle. Let's just chop the air for a bit, shall we? But yeah, that was something that I obtained, which is essentially, other than the feathers, 99 fletching. So I was doing fletching while doing hunter. It just made the most sense that I would get basically all the stuff and then make the arrows while I was doing hunter. And so hunter just kept coming up because I got to 83 for glory, and there was things that I was unlocking along the way. I got hunter high up because of the aerial from fishing. So there was just things like that were just other skills were getting leveled. And yeah, ultimately just ended up getting everything I needed for 99 fletching. And at that point, it was kind of like, okay, well, I'm just going to do hunter until I'm done with all of these, or at least until hit 99. Plus, you get all of the giant seaweed, right? So I got all the giant seaweed that I need for 99 crafting. I think I had 70-ish or something. Like, I don't forget what it was after, I think 75 or 77 after 99 RC. So I've only done 3 levels of the giant seaweed buckets of sand method for UIM level 3s. That's pretty decent XP. It's like, I think pre-87, it's like 50 to 60k, and then I think at 87, it'll launch to like 60 to 75k an hour, and it's relatively AFK and chill. Like, it's not super AFK, but it is relatively chill. So, yeah, I ended up getting all of that, and I was trying to go for the herbivore pet while also maybe possibly getting lucky with Tangleroot, and I thought, how crazy would that be to come out of 99 Hunter with one of the hunter pets and the farming pet? Because the giant seaweed is one of the best ways to get the pet for no cost. However, I have been super inefficient in not just finishing farming. Like that's a given. Like, it is better to have the farming cape, to have the benefit on the yield, to have the teleport to the guild, to be doing, my seed pack stuff, for my contracts. Like I should be doing that, and I just can't be asked. Like I don't care yet because there's gonna come a season in my account where that's basically all I'm gonna do for a long time. And I'm not trying to rush it, and I'd rather do some things that motivate me and clean up some of my items that I obtained, and also I'm kind of adjusting for accidentally, or I guess not accidentally, but spending all my GP on fletching. So with that, I am focused currently on getting 99 woodcutting. I did get the fox whistle, which you'll see in vid 7. I was hoping that I'd also get the golden egg. I think in my forestry log, you can see that I have, I have almost everything. I'm pretty close to having almost everything. I do have all of the logs that are needed for all of the forestry updates, including the funky shape log. All I need is the 750 Arctic logs. So that'll get me to 22 out of 23. And my plan is that I will sit when I do 99 fletching, instead of just doing post hunter, which is something I would eventually do, you know, once I get to just, I imagine just Herblore left, I'll be doing a lot of herbivore and farm runs. For 99 fletching, I think what I'm going to do, instead of trying to do herbivore while doing it, since you don't get as much, is I'll just sit at maples and try to farm these events, right? It makes sense too, because I only need to get a little bit of GP to do 99 fletch, and then I may be able to green log the forestry. It does kind of stink because then I would have 3 items that are not able to be put in my looting bag. But as you saw in vid 6, maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't, I did purchase the volcanic mine storage, so I have an alternative method to store things in an easier place and location to get to than going all the way to the farming guild, risking it, because you can. There's been a couple times where I'm running that route and like there is a lizardman where it shouldn't be, very sketchy sometimes. So you usually can spot them and everything like that, and if you're careful, you're not going to die. But it's like, why do that when you have everything in there? Because if you die, it's a wipe. So I got the volcanic mine storage unlocked, which means I can use that to do herblore and things like that. So I can put those items in there if I need to, along with anything else, like, you know, the rune felling axe or anything like that. If I had a DX, I wouldn't make this thing. I would just keep it a DX so it could go in the looting bag forever. But yeah, I'm working on 9 and wood cutting. About to 95. I'm on trajectory for 99 by the end of the year, but literally like the last day. So it'll probably be, with the holidays and everything, it'll probably be more like early January. Maybe it'll be the first video of 2024. And that'll set me up to work on fletching. I think with 99 woodcutting, I could go to 99 farming. I mean, I'm almost 93, but it's like I really just want to get rid of stuff in my looting bag, because to be honest, my herblore level is falling behind. I need some GP to get this con level up a little bit. I need to get to 85, so then I have like max storage of everything. So if I get, you know, stale baguette or anything, I can throw it in the POH. So I need to get 10 levels here. That'll get me to 80 base when I get 80 herblore as well, and 80 plus cons. So I'm going to push for doing some post XP of RC, a little bit of bloods to get some GP for the feathers for 99 fletch. I'll do 99 fletch while I'm trying to get the last forestry item. If I don't get the beaver, it's not the end of the world. I'll use the volcanic mine storage at least until I feel like doing it, or I'll camp AFK at Redwoods whenever I can't, you know, play, because it is just that enjoyable. Like, it is very, very chill. And I can do that while playing other accounts, which we'll talk about eventually in this video. I've been rambling for about 33 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up a little bit here, and I'm going to try to. But yeah, I do have, like, all that I need. I think okay, so I'm 1/4 what I need for 99 craft in terms of the buckets of sand. I should get that from 90, like almost 99 mining. I can tick manipulate that as well, and I'll have, you know, my full prospector. So like, I'm getting close to 99 craft stored. It says 110 mil. I believe it is 79 herblore from my calculator and the plugin that I have. So I'm getting closer to 80. However, some of them, like, I'm a little short on the snape grass for spread across the Raynar weed and the Aventos. So, you know, I might not be able to just straight get it. So I've just been saving and stocking up. My herblore level looks like puny because of it, but it is going to be fun when I get to the point where I'm finished woodcut and fletch. I've got like 85 con. Um, I'll probably, hopefully at that point, I'll have done some more farm runs, and I do have some seeds, I think. Let me see. I still have some left, like some Toadflax, some Snaps, some Harlanders. So I will likely, after 99 Woodcut, 99 Fletch, 85 con, I will just die and start making Herblore stuff. So I'll try to push for like 80 Herblore is the goal, to get 80 based, and yeah, get like clean up my looting bag basically to where I don't even really need the looting bag. I won't ever really get rid of it until 99 herb, but yeah, it'll be good to just clean up all the subs, get rid of the things that are dependencies, because I can't do anything in the wilderness really. It's just like, you don't want to have Herblore subs just sitting on you. You want to be able to get them done quickly. So I'm going to try to push for that. As far as finishing this video, I'll just mention what the goals are for for this next year, going into 2024. I am finishing up a number of very big things, but I still have a lot of things that I'm going to be doing this next year in my real life. Right? I'm pretty ambitious, and I'm doing a lot. So I micromanage everything in my time and all of that as best as I can. Some days are hard because I'm taking on too much. Sometimes I wish I could play more of the game, but I am happy with the balance that I have right now going. And I think I'm just excited because if I made this much progress this year, given everything that I have gone through and had to complete in real life, it's encouraging to me that I will get there if I stay consistent. So 2024, a goal will be 99 Woodcut, 99 Fletch. It'll also be 99 Farm because I want to get that done even after the 85 and the 80 Herb. Once I have that, I will hopefully build up a little bit more GP, and I want to go for Smith. Smith is something I can do with the Mithril Plate Body method to make more profit per hour than I can even make doing rune crafting, and I need to get 99. So I'm going to push for that to get all of the GP with all my anima bark that I have, which I think right now is 65k. It'll be lower when I buy some things, but with whatever bark I have, I will push for, with that GP from Smith and the bark, to get from 85 to 99 con. And from there, I think I can get 99 Woodcut, 99 Fletch, 99 Smith, Farm, 99 Smith, maybe even 90 Smith, not do 99, just get what I need for con. Finish con. So Woodcut, Fletch, Farm, con, maybe Smith. And then if I'm fortunate, I might be able to do something like some finish either Smith or some part of mining. However, if I get really like tired of after all that, which I think all that's going to be actually very interesting, especially after I get past this Woodcut Farm Fletching debacle, then I will do agility. So agility will be very nice with having con cape, farming cape, fishing cape, some more post thieving XP I'll do, and that would be the goal. So by the end of 2024, I would hope to only have, if I can, only have 99 crafting, 99, or well, actually, it's 99 mining first, 99 crafting, and 99 Herblore left. Basically, by the end of 2024, which is really only a year of gameplay, and that does go pretty fast, and especially since I don't play like all day, every day, I can anticipate getting very close to being 2 to 3 levels off of max UIM level 3 by the end of the year. So I think that that's reasonable. That's not pushing myself to play like 6 or 7 hours a day. I have been doing a little bit of leagues. I'm like at 9k points, so I've been getting all the stuff that I want, and I've been spending a little bit of time on that. And I'm in a busy season, and we had a third child this year, so I feel like I'm getting to a good place. But yeah, that's pretty much what the progress is going to be. Also, I said I was going to finish, but maybe this will go to 45. I said that these videos can go from 20 to an hour, so I need some long content for y'all to watch anyways. I did announce, as you may have seen, the Hardcore Iron Man 807 Combat Pure Leonidas. Shout out to my boy Double A or AA for helping me with getting that username, which is super cool. I've had GP that I've used for usernames and all of that, but I haven't really had one since bag that I got myself. And UIM was something I actually searched and obtained a long time ago. And a friend borrowed it. He gave it back, thankfully, because he was an in-game friend. But uh, that's what I've built my entire series around, and I love my username, so I'm never going to change it. But yeah, Leonidas fits. It's an 807 combat pure. It's hardcore to start. Leonidas did die, so if I died too, it is what it is. It will be no skills, all combat and slayer. I might cheese it too, which is kind of funny. Like I might cheese souls and pest control. Like I was thinking about what if I just got max combat stats doing like PC and Soul Wars, and then I went for 99 Slayer. Like that would be kind of funny. There's a lot of items that I'll miss out on, and a lot of things that I would miss out on the combat side. But I think it's a good gateway into combat for me to actually try some things, and would be a nice combination to this account, right? Like having my combat iron that doesn't do any skilling, so I never have to repeat myself for a bit, will be nice. But also, having my level 3 UIM skiller, or whenever I'm skilling, I can be playing this account. Redwoods will help for that. The whole year could get washed. All these plans could get washed away because I, for some reason, get the ridiculous urge to just keep trying to get beaver pet and end up spending the whole year doing none of this and trying to get the beaver. But that's not my fault. That's the game's fault for their unhealthy habits that they set upon us with their RNG. But yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll be lucky. You never know. I'm hoping by 99 woodcutting, maybe I'll get the beaver. If I do, I would have eventually all 3 forms of the beaver pet, which would be crazy to have RC, fish, and woodcutting pets all complete, to be fair. It is a substantial amount of progress in terms of the pet collection stuff. But yeah, I'm going to be playing that account usually side by side whenever I'm chilling. Like I'm going to be doing a little bit more of it once I finish my presentation tomorrow night. I will be able to relax and do some woodcutting, and I want to get even further, like just get the initial base going and start going with my 807. So Leonidas is going to be a different one. I'm not going to be doing that series like I do my progress videos with UIM. I'm going to basically record the clips, and then I'm going to record voiceover, so that way I can be talking about what I'm doing, like what I'm learning. Like it's a noob. It's like a skiller, UIM level 3 skiller trying combat. So I'm a noob, Leagues helped me a little bit get more comfortable with combat and trying some things. Like I'd never even killed a demonic gorilla before, so it's pretty embarrassing to die to a demonic gorilla, but I figure it'll be a good area for me to push myself out of my comfort zone, and a great alt to UIM forever. UIM is my main account. I'm always going to be playing it, but Leonidas could be a great alt for me in the long haul. And if for some reason, I finish that series, which would be pretty impressive for me personally to get a Slayer on any account, especially an Iron with no skills, then, I could always get skills later on and just turn it into like a regular Iron account. Unlikely would I stay hardcore forever, and I'm not going to quit it or restart when I lose hardcore status. It's honestly not even worth risking the name being moved to a new hardcore, so there's just so many snipers and things like that. It is what it is. So these will be my 2 accounts that I'll always play, my UIM level 3 and my Iron combat account. Hopefully I can get pretty far on that. I'm already having fun. I just created it. That was already exciting because I haven't created a new account in like a year plus since this account. And then also it's kind of fun because I'm just already thinking through like how can I cheese? Like how can I get to 40 combat quickly via quest, and here's how I can get 13 magic for free from this, and like I don't know, I'm discovering things I never think about on this account. It kind of feels like a mini version of Leagues. So that's pretty much all there is to say. We covered a full year of content. We covered what we've done, how things shifted. Shout out to Transcend and all of the homies there. So thankful for them. They've stuck in the clan and been consistent, and yeah, I appreciate our clan. I just love our little community, our little foxhole in terms of in the community of old school RuneScape, and we all have different alts and stuff like that, but I do think it's nice that we have a community that's secure and still here after basically a year. Our events and all that stuff isn't perfect. It is what it is. Like most of us are pretty independent in terms of trying to make things happen all the time, and yeah, we probably could plan some stuff. And we didn't do any podcasts really this year, only like the intro one, so we really do need to just make it happen, but it is hard to organize, and I don't know. I'm kind of lazy because I already have so much going on that I want somebody else to spearhead it a little bit, and then maybe I just come in and am there as a part of it, help direct it a little bit. I don't know, but yeah, it's been great. We're on our way to 1400 total with 0 Slayer XP, and we are on our way to really going from 6 to hopefully 9, 999s very quickly, and base 80. Like, I think I'm 800 EHP, so hopefully in 2024 I'll also hit 1K EHP. We hit 1K YouTube subscribers, so thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening to this giant ramble. If you ever have questions or anything, I usually keep my private chat on. Or if you have any like pressing message, I'll usually deny like certain usernames, but you can always join the CC and join the Discord, and you can even add me on Discord and ask for messages that way. But in game is usually the best way to get a hold of me, because whenever I'm on, that's when I'm able to answer questions the easiest. But yeah, you can add me on Discord as well. My handle is just UIM, no spaces. Like, I have a rare Discord name. It's kind of nice because I've had this name for a long time. All right, 46 minutes plus of rambling. Have a happy holidays. Enjoy your New Year's. I hope that you and your family and friends are staying safe and enjoying the holidays. I know it can be fantastic for many and also very difficult season for many who are grieving a loss, loved ones. So I hope that you take care of yourself and that we'll get to play more of this wonderful game in 2024. And we'll see where we end up. But have a good day. Thanks for listening.